What is going on, guys? Today we are looking at the best meta keepers in FC24. Starting off with Donnarumma, and I thought, you know what? He's had some informs now, and also a UCL, which is even better. It's got the upgrade, so we are one step ahead of that inform again. Even the gold, to be honest, you're probably just better off going for the inform now. He has just got a generic upgrade every single time, but it is always nice, and we are still waiting on that first ever keeper with a Playstyle Plus, whether we actually get it or not. But in terms of him, I feel like you could probably go for any of the special versions and pretty much be happy with him. We then also have a lot of gold goalkeepers that are still viable to some extent. Courtois being my biggest one. He's played over 700 matches now and is still more than fine in the team. He just does the business. And to be honest, you could probably argue the same with Alisson, Ederson. You could have some arguments with ter Stegen. Neuer I'm definitely seeing less and less, and same with Mignan. I feel like there is a time and place for some goalkeepers, but when it comes to the top of the top, pretty much the top row bar from Endler, everybody is still definitely within their right, ability-wise, able to stay in your team. And I must admit, some of them do pretty good jobbing. But then we have the specials. These are what everybody want. You want the dynamic. Nobody wants a gold goalkeeper anymore. They always want the special that can just boost their team look more so than anything. Dudek this year, I must admit, is a bit better. He's genuinely put in a bit more of a shift. You gotta love the dynamic. I feel like they went really in on that one. Very, very nice indeed. The only thing is, he doesn't have a single playstyle. I was genuinely shocked when I saw this, because if you do compare him to a lot of the other keepers, they at least have 1, 2 or 3 of them. There's very few that have the 4, which we will show you. But in terms of kind of Dudek, that is the only thing that I would say he has a less of an advantage, if you count that as something that is worth having. Personally, for me, you can get away without the far throw. You could even get away without the footwork, personally. But cross-claimer is definitely one that I normally like to have, and same with rush out. Again, footwork, you could argue between the fact. The next one, as we saw, inform ter Stegen. There is only a very, very handful with an inform nowadays. Ter Stegen, Donnarumma being one of the only two. Definitely a decent upgrade for him. Unfortunately, it is just a +1 from him, so it's not necessarily a massive upgrade across the board. We have got Ederson, double upgrade for Ederson. Obviously, he does have the cross-claimer and also rush out, and to be honest, a long ball pass as well, which is pretty cool. He does have more of the kicking than he does the throwing anyway, so that is fair enough. And again, when it comes to an Ederson, if you are looking for that Man City team, then he is going to be the perfect signing you can have, unless you're doing a past and present, and then you'd have Peter Schmeichel. Again, a very good goalkeeper in himself. He has got the far throw, footwork, and cross-claimer. I think, for me, number 1 cross-claimer is the one there. Goalkeeper will try to intercept a cross if they can get to it slightly before the opponent. That, for me, is number 1. Like I say, when it comes to rush out, you can make that happen anyway, so it's not necessarily a big deal if he doesn't have it. And I do think with Schmeichel, because he was an SBC earlier on in the game, a lot of people have just stuck with him. He hasn't really got an upgrade from another campaign, so he's just stuck at the same rating. He's no different. He's still a very good goalkeeper, and he definitely gets the job done. When we look at Lloris, end of era, I believe we have been announced that we will be getting an end of era Joe Hart as well. He will be at Celtic, so links-wise is going to be interesting, unless you've got a lot of icons in your team anyway, but that should be a relatively high goalkeeper as well. Whether we see a top rated from him, like a 92, 93, or they go conservative and go like an 88 to 90, will be interesting to see. But I think with Lloris, he's in half and half for me. Back in the day, Lloris was at least a standard shout. You would have your Czechs, your Van der Sars, you would have your, who's the other one? Czech, Van der Sar, Courtois, I suppose, was in there sometimes. Donnarumma was just coming up. There was somebody else that I'm completely forgetting as a keeper. What a layman was it? Let me know down below. There was definitely another one. Lloris, Van der Sar. De Gea was obviously overtaking Van der Sar. Lloris was there with somebody else, but again, a very good keeper. Nowadays, I would have kind of just brushed over this SBC at that point in the game. We then have Van Nistelrooy, a shapeshifter goalkeeper. I'm not a massive fan, if I'm being brutally honest. He's got far throw and rush out. He's okay, but I think being 6'2", he is a smaller goalkeeper on some levels. Not necessarily the smallest, so that is always perfect in himself. And I think he does a good job. but I don't think personally he does the best job in a keeper anyway. We have Casillas. Love Casillas on any value that he can get. From his base to the Thunderstruck, I think he's a phenomenal keeper. He has got all 4 play styles as well, so if that is something that must hit a criteria, that is absolutely what he does. And honestly, he just does it. He does the business. He's brilliant in the sticks. Casillas has always been one of them ones that just is great. From gold to icon, every single time, he is a safe and reliable keeper to definitely have in between the sticks.
If your team's looking like this, then I have the place for you. Head over to U7Buy for all your coin needs. They're cheap, fast, and reliable, but make sure to use JT11 at the checkout for 6% off all of your coin orders.
We have Yashin. Now, Yashin is kind of one of the ones that has that almost double negative to him because he has got the cross claimer, perfect. But now the fact that he does have a centre-back, it means if you've got the centre-back version, you're probably not going to want the goalkeeper version. The centre-back is actually a really good defender in the game, so unfortunately for him, he's got a position out of net that really takes him away. Still has the cap on as well, which is even better. But in terms of a keeper, very, very up there. I must admit he's probably at least top 3, top 4 at the absolute minimum in terms of a keeper. Czech, on the other hand, definitely rifles that with his Team of the Year icon. I thought this could have definitely been the one to get the Playstyle Plus, but unfortunately we still didn't get it. Whether we see that happen at some point, I'm kind of losing hope. I thought it would have been here by now, and I think if they were to give it, I could imagine if they give us the Far Throw Plus, I guarantee the first game you play, he'll be able to throw it over the pitch. I just see it being broken, or his foot just saves everything. I don't know. I could just see them breaking it at some point. But Czech definitely is one of them keepers that I'd say is in the top 4. He's a good keeper. Honestly, for me, I definitely don't put him in the top 3. I would say Yashin would be number 3 and Czech would be number 4. Van der Sar, in my eyes, is the top keeper you can get. He is an easy shout. Base or Thunderstruck, both of them are absolutely insane. He does miss out on the rush out, but everything else is absolutely perfect for him. I believe he did get the upgrade as well. I'm pretty sure. We will need to fact check because I'm actually not 100%. I want to say he was one of the ones that didn't. I'm pretty sure he was he Ajax as well? He did get the upgrade, so they were fine. Did get to the 90 in the end, and he is just sublime. But in terms of the best keeper, or at least the highest rated, Alisson, Team of the Year. Exceptional stats, as we know. Playstyles across the board, every single one of them, and obviously stat-wise has been boosted to the 9s. From everybody here, you can see stats. They are up there nonetheless. They are all in the top end. Alisson definitely has that upper hand, but I think with Team of the Years, they just run till Team of the Season, and then you can go for your respected leagues 100% of the time. Normally, he does keep at a good rating, whether we see Joe Hart upsetting the mix of players, but at this point, I feel like it's going to be the battle between Alisson, Van der Sar, Yashin, and obviously Czech. But they're going to be the meta keepers in the game. I don't think there's really any other arguments across this board. Let me know down below who you've got in net, and I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.